In between Ted and A Million Ways to Die in the West, you hosted the Oscars. Now, I thought you did a really good job. I mean, you told a lot of funny jokes. Some of them were edgy. But the rule is you can't make fun of those people on their big night. And you did. So was it a mistake in the end to host the Oscars, or would you do it again if they asked?
No. I suppose I would do it again. No, I don't think it was a mistake at all. I had a great time. The room was fantastic. Yeah, I used to do stand-up. I've never felt so much love for an audience as I did well into the second hour of that, because I felt like they were still with me.
Right.
They were great afterwards.
Were you nervous?
No, I had a few drinks before I went out there, so I was fine.
Don't you think, like, for a guy who you know, I'm not going to say hides, but psychologically, you're hidden when you do a cartoon and you're doing the voices. When you do Ted, you're the hidden guy. For you to go out in front of millions of people on Hollywood's biggest night, I would think you would shit your pants, because you're not used to being the guy in front of the camera.
The movie was scarier. The Oscars was, you know, you're going out and, you know, you're reading jokes off a prompter, basically.
Right. Yeah. And that doesn't unnerve you.
And then, you know, if something happens, yes, you have to be on your toes a little bit if something goes haywire. But
do you have a group of writers who stand backstage? Because that's what I heard, like Billy Crystal would do. You have a group of writers in the commercials. You discuss what just happened, and then they'll just give you a couple of suggestions. And then you go with it.
Yeah. Yep, we do that too.
Yeah. So it was fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. I mean,
you didn't mind the backlash afterwards when
because I don't think that it comes from anywhere but the press. I think you know, my interactions with you know, people like Affleck and Clooney and Charlize after the fact, you know, they were great. I mean, they had a great time, and you know, the reaction from the public was very gratifying. I think the press loves to make you think that there's outrage where there is none.
Was it a tough decision to host the Oscars
No.
when you did it? It was an easy decision. Did you pinch yourself? I think that's rarefied air. You know,
rarefied air.
And for a comic, that's like a big deal.
No question.
Would you do it again?
I would probably do it again. Not sure if they would. I think that what's needed there is a slightly different animal. The problem with having me do it, and it's a problem with maybe having Dave do it and Rock do it, is we have a pressure to do it as observers, not participants.
Right.
And because of that, you're always treading that line between giving everybody there a warm and gracious show and welcome and make them feel good, and shitting on them.
That's the problem.
And then for the host, though, you feel that pressure because you're there. You're not a dick.
No, but you don't want to disappoint your fans either.
Right, but you don't want to disappoint them either. So now you're playing both rooms.
Right.
And playing both rooms. I can remember when I did it the first time, because the first time I did it, I thought I had it. And even in the room, I thought I had it nailed. Like, that was one of those nights where right after it was over, we were like high-fiving until the next day. We're like, Stu, it sucks. Stu, it. Never show your face again.
Right.
You know, it was one of those things.
So when you get a negative review for the Oscars, did it throw you? It was like, oh, shit, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, it throws you, but not... You know, not for that long, you know, because it's not, one of the things about the Oscars is, you know, if my career was only hosting award shows, then I'd be like, oh my God.
Then you're fucked.
What am I going to do now?
The whole slap thing. Do you play it over in your head like the Sabruder film and go, if I had it to do over again, I would have marched out and thrown Will Smith right the fuck out of that building?
I mean, I don't know what I would have done if the power were in my hands. It was so upsetting. Like, and people made fun of me for saying that it was traumatizing, but I don't think it was traumatizing for me. I think it was traumatizing for all of us. Like, it was like, it just was. Like, Chris Rock's my good friend, like one of my best friends, and Questlove is also one of my best friends. Like, you know, this is a small town, and the people who live in New York and stay in New York, like, we're close. And so to see that happen, to see your friend get hit, and then, and also Will Smith, who I've loved, and we've all loved forever. Like, I don't remember a time I didn't think, I love that guy. And, you know, and I haven't been around much violence. You know, I didn't grow up within the home or anything. So it was upsetting for so many reasons. And it was upsetting to everyone at home who didn't even see what I saw. It was shocking. And it was a bummer. But, you know, for me, I had no thoughts of like how it affected me or my performance or anything. It was just upsetting as a person.
When you saw the Will Smith slap and all that crap, do you say to yourself, thank God I don't host the Oscars, because to me, I even found myself sitting there going, why isn't anyone coming out and helping out Chris Rock? The guy just got assaulted on stage. And you kind of want to blame the host and say, where are you? And if you had been the host, Jimmy, they would have said, that fucking Jimmy Kimmel, he's a coward. He didn't come out. He didn't wrestle.
Oh, I would have went right out there. There would have been I wouldn't even have waited for somebody to say something.
Do you think? Do you think you would have?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would have went right out on stage because somebody needed to go out there at that time. And I think that was one of the drawbacks to having three hosts is it wasn't clear who should go out there and who channeled.
Right.
But when they mixed up the envelopes and nobody knew what was supposed to happen, no one told me to go out on stage. I said, I guess I better go up because I'm the only one with a mic on. And I just
you want to know something? I am now so fucking disappointed that you didn't host the Oscars because what a great moment. If you would have been clear-headed enough, you would have had the presence to say, fuck this, and walked out and confronted Will Smith. In your mind, how would you have handled it, though? What would you say? Hey, Will, get in your fucking seat and get out of the... What would you have done, you think?
I think I probably would have started talking to Will Smith. I think that would, who was sitting there, I think I would have opened it like, what are you doing? Like, what, and I think that would have been my first step.
Did you call Chris Rock at all or speak to him after that incident?
I spoke to him for about 90 minutes, probably 6 or 7 days after it happened.
You called him at home and said, hey.
I in person. I saw him in person after Saturday Night Live. I was in New York and I talked to him at length about it. And I don't want to share what